traditions of any kind. Australia's sporting power couple Mary Fowler and Nathan Cleary reunited at the footy in England. Under the mist-shrouded spires of Liverpool's Anfield shadow, where the Mersey whispers secrets of lovers parted by oceans and seasons, can a fleeting glance across a rain-slicked field mend the quiet fractures of a heart stretched thin by the world's relentless pull? The Rugby League Ashes of 2025 had unfolded like a transatlantic epic, the Kangaroos, Australia's emerald-clad warriors, descending upon England's storied grounds to reclaim a rivalry dormant for decades. Their campaign a blaze of dominance from Wembley's thunderous opener to the gritty resolve of lesser-known pitches. Nathan Cleary, the Penrith maestro whose boot and guile had scripted premiership dynasties, anchored the fray as halfback, his every pass a thread in the tapestry of national pride, while across the Irish Sea, Mary Fowler navigated her own odyssey with Manchester City's Sky Blues. Her Matildas legacy, a beacon for a generation of daughters daring to dream. Separated since the Matildas' triumphant return from Paris, where Fowler's grace under golden lights had captivated the globe, the couple had endured the ache of time zones and training grounds. Cleary's mornings in the Blue Mountains bleeding into Fowler's evenings amid Manchester's cobbled lanes. An ACL tear in April had sidelined her from the pitch, yet not from the spirit that first drew him to her. A quiet ferocity, eyes alight with the poetry of pursuit. As the series crested into its second test at Everton's gleaming Hill Dickinson Stadium on the Mersey's edge, fate aligned their paths. Cleary's tour a bridge across the void. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Sport Talk content. The afternoon of November 1st dawned gray and resolute. The stadium a coliseum of 30,000 souls bundled against the chill, their chants a briny chorus swelling with England's defiant hope after Wembley's narrow capitulation. Fowler, fresh from Manchester's Etihad, where she'd watched her city sisters clash in a women's Super League skirmish, embarked on her mad dash. A frantic rail sprint southward, her knee braced but her heart unyielding, arriving just as the anthems faded into the fray. The Kangaroos struck early, Cleary's orchestration a symphony of sleight and steel, his grubber feeding a try that ignited the Australian enclave in the stands, their green flags whipping like signals of home. Yet it was England's riposte, a bulldozing run from their forwards, that tested the line. The crowd's roar cresting like a tidal surge, only for Cleary to intercept the momentum with a towering bomb, his boot a clarion that silenced the swell. In the halftime hush, as mist clung to the crossbars like unspoken longing, Fowler slipped into the family section. Cleary's kin, Father Ivan, Mother Beck, Brother Jet, enfolding her in a quiet vigil, their shared glances a silent pact of endurance. She watched breath held as the second half ignited, Cleary's break in the 52nd minute a darting revelation, his offload birthing points that swelled the lead to 24-12, the away fans' eruption a defiant hymn against the gathering dusk. But the true crescendo came not in points, but in the final whistle's mercy, a 28-16 triumph that sealed Australia's unyielding grip on the series. As the Kangaroos huddled in victorious embrace, Cleary's eyes sought the stands, locking onto Fowler's amid the cascade of confetti and cheers, her smile a lighthouse piercing the pandemonium. He broke from the throng, vaulting barriers in a sprint that blurred the line between player and paramour, their reunion a tender collision under floodlights that bathed them in ethereal gold. The stadium, sensing the poetry unfolding, softened its roar to a collective sigh, English faithful joining the applause with gracious warmth, whispers of beautiful, rippling through the terraces like a benediction. In that suspended breath, arms entwined, foreheads touching amid the echo of the siren, they became more than icons, a testament to love's quiet rebellion against the calendar's tyranny, her hand tracing the line of his jaw as if mapping the miles they'd reclaimed. Word of the embrace cascaded through the ether like Mersey rain on cobblestones, social media igniting with grainy clips from fan phones. Cleary Fowler reunion trending from Bondi Beach to Bond Street, amassing millions of views in hours, hearts and fire emojis a digital tide of shared joy. Australian outlets from the Herald Sun to Fox Sports splashed the moment across feeds, framing it as the series' unspoken hero, while English tabloids like The Sun marveled at the down-under romance blooming on our shores. Fans converged in virtual and visceral realms. Melbourne cafes buzzing with Matildas supporters, toasting Fowler's fortitude. Her journey from Cairns' sunlit fields to Manchester's manicured pitches, a diaspora dream realized. Sydney bars replaying Cleary's tries with interludes of their story. NRL diehards softened by the sight of vulnerability and victory. The reunion wove into the Ashes fabric, a series revived in 2024 to stoke old flames between Code's cradles. England's industrial hearths birthing League's grit, Australia's coastal expanses infusing it with boundless sky. This interlude deepened the cultural vein, echoing the heritage of athletes as envoys of the heart. Fowler's ascent mirroring the Matildas' 2023 surge that shattered attendance records and gender divides. Cleary's poise an heirloom from his father's coaching lineage. Their union a bridge across rugby's rough edges and soccer's silken arcs. In an era where borders blur via screens, their story humanized the grind, reminding that behind every goal and grand final lies a private pulse yearning for convergence. The aftermath lingered like a lover's afterglow, Cleary's family enveloping Fowler in post-match warmth, Jet's bear hug a sibling seal on the circle as paparazzi flashes dotted the exodus like distant stars. Yet beyond the glow, it surfaced the fragility of their path. Fowler's book Bloom, Creating a Life I Love, set for November 18th shelves, a manifesto of intention amid injury's shadow, hinting at futures woven with Cleary's dreams of fatherhood on rural acres. In the hush of contemplation, this reunion unveils humanity's tender defiance against division, the soul's innate compass, drawing disparate worlds into harmony through the alchemy of affection. In sport's grand theater, where bodies bend to collective will, such moments affirm that true partnership transcends turf, a quiet revolution where Cleary's tactical genius meets Fowler's fluid artistry, each bolstering the other's unseen burdens. It speaks to sportsmanship's deeper grace, not the handshake after strife, but the unwavering gaze across stands and seas, where Cleary's pregame rituals now include her playlists, Fowler's rehab laced with his voice notes of encouragement. Their story illuminates character as the invisible thread, humility in stardom where fame's glare yields to fidelity's glow, teaching that vulnerability is the strongest play in love's unending series. Reflection turns to the values that endure beyond the roar, resilience as a shared vigil, Cleary wading through her sideline seasons, Fowler cheering his tours from afar, their bond a bulwark against isolation's creep. In a world that commodifies connection, they embody authenticity's quiet power, proving that legacy flourishes not in solitary triumphs, but in the mutual mending of miles traversed alone. Consider the heritage they inherit and extend. Australia's sporting pantheon, from Bradman to Bradbury, laced with tales of fortitude forged in solitude, now enriched by cross-code kinship, where League's thunder meets soccer's symphony. This reunion, a mere footnote in the Ashes ledger, etches a larger truth. Love as the ultimate grand slam and outlasting contracts and calendars, inviting us to cherish the reunions that render our journeys whole. Yet in this mirror of mutual ascent, we glimpse the human bargain, ambition's fire tempered by affection's hearth, where Fowler's